My name is Jen Weaver, and I'm in 5th grade at St. George School.
Hi, I'm Bishop Lunt. I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Kismet, and I am in 4th grade at the St. George School.
My name is Everly, and I'm in 4th grade.
My name is Benjamin Lord, and I'm a 7th grader.
We're a part of the St. George Oral History Project, a partnership between the school and the Historical Society to document the history of fishing, work, and education in our town.
We're interviewing community members to learn about this history because we believe our future is deeply rooted in our past, in the history, traditions, values, and people of St. George.
Alrighty, so if you don't want to answer any of these questions, you don't really have to. But yeah, it's just like a pretty chill interview, and we hope to learn a little bit about you.
Thank you.
So if you could start off by introducing yourself, just like a little bit about who you are and what you've done, that'd be nice.
My name is Jennifer Garrett. I graduated from college in 1975, so you can figure out how old I am. Everyone in my family is a teacher, and I started teaching here in the late 70s, and I taught at the Grace Institute for about 35 years. So I taught some of it in this very building.
What did you teach at the Grace Institute?
When I came to teach at the Grace Institute, it was called home economics at that time. There was home economics and there was industrial arts. And when I was hired, they were very concerned, would I be willing to teach boys? Because boys had never taken home economics here, and girls had never taken shop. And I had taught at 2 bigger schools before, and I said, well, of course I would teach boys, and girls could take shop. But they were concerned because it had never happened before. So we would spend maybe a couple months on cooking different things. We would also do sewing, hand sewing and machine sewing, and students also, because many kids that age were babysitters, they learned we taught CPR courses, so you could do life-saving courses. A lot of kids babysat when they were in 7th grade. Courses in financial consumerism, how to spend your money, how to budget. And it took a long time for them to figure out that it didn't matter if you were a boy or a girl. You could take any courses. And then eventually, boys and girls both had the same courses.
So it was kind of like segregated in a way?
Yes, it was very segregated.
And that's not very good.
I don't think it was fair, no.
No, it's like, I want to do this, but
Yeah.
I can't.
Exactly.
Do you think we should still teach the classes that were taught at the Grace Institute?
I would love it if we did. In fact, it breaks my heart that we don't teach them anymore, because I would call them life skills, really important skills, because a lot of people have kids and they should know how to take care of them, and people need to feed themselves. You don't actually need to know how to sew, but a lot of people like to do some crafts for enjoyment. It's really sad if you think about something that I did for almost 50 years, that it's not considered important anymore.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel sad.
Yeah.
Which, happens to a lot of people. Something that they've done, maybe the factory has closed or the job is no longer needed. So that does happen to other people. Some people in fishing, maybe they can't fish for that kind of fish anymore. Maybe it's fished out or it's gone. So people have to adjust to something new. But maybe some of it will come back in some ways.
How have you seen St. George change over the years?
How has St. George changed over the years? I guess I don't see how it's changed as much as how it's stayed the same. For me, the one place it stayed the same is the willingness of people in St. George to help each other out. I mean, over the years I've seen tragedies that people have been sick or hurt, or there have been fires. I've had students who've been in car accidents or fires, and people in St. George have come together to help with fundraisers or some ways to help people, and they always have done that. If somebody's in need, we put on a fundraiser and help people, and I think the people of the town have always done that.
What are some things about St. George that people might not know?
Oh, I don't know. What don't they know about St. George? If they have never driven down here, they don't know how beautiful it is. I mean, I've taught here, well, it's been 50 years since I've been driving down here, and it still takes my breath away when I drive down and see how beautiful it is. I just think it's one of the prettiest places ever, except I live at Spruce Head, and I think that's actually prettier. I do. I think it's beautiful. I like how we're kind of like an island, and we're kind of independent, and we kind of do things our own way, and we don't think we have to do things the way other people think we do.
Yeah. Do you have any funny stories about my mom?
I remember your mom most for sports. She was a ferocious basketball player. I remember her mostly running up and down that basketball court. She was aggressive, a basketball player.
Yeah, Mom said one girl kept pinching her, so she pinched her right back and made her bleed. Me and Kismet played Little League.
Yeah, well, there was no Little League for girls when I was your age. That did not exist because Title IX had not been written, so girls did not have equal sports.
Do you have any stories about your time teaching in the Grace Institute that you think we should share with the community?
Oh, share with the community. What students would share would be the funny ones, like Karis's husband and his friend were making pajama pants side by side, and they got the patterns mixed up. So one has stripes and one has plaid because they got the legs mixed up because they couldn't figure them out. Or the students who used to like to, we'd call it either borrowing or stealing chocolate chips. I mean, there are certain things that kids used to like to do like that. Like, who could resist if there's chocolate chips in the cupboard and you might take a few.
Well, I think that's about all that we have for the interview. Thank you so much for being such a good host and interviewee, as they would call it.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
What a nice closing you did. Very professional.